Well, my God, the time flies when you're having fun. John Duffin here, Duffin Media, Duffin Coaching. Welcome back to another episode of Optimizing Your Communications by Leveraging Your Voice, or Duffin'S Killa Conversations. I don't know why that makes me laugh. It just shows my street cred, by the way, and I'm sure you know that about me. Street cred with a white shirt. Really looking street. But anyway, it's great that you're here. Folks, if you're joining me live on Facebook, great. Welcome. LinkedIn Live, great. Wonderful to have you. YouTube Live, we are right here. What do we get to do? It's 3 top tips today to get you to optimize your communications that you can use immediately. Today, your next conversation, your next important conversation to make sure you get what you want, find what you need, improve your results. That's what we're all about here, right? So this was a weird inspiration for me today, but I'm going to get right on it. Here's what I'm calling in regards to tips today, right? And I'm calling it point blank. Literally, watch the speed bumps. Why am I laughing? I don't know. Here's the deal. I was at a memorial service, which I know I shouldn't be laughing about, but I was at a friend's family member's memorial service, and the event was beautiful. And we were driving through the complex, and you get to the complex, and there was a speed bump every 6 seconds. So you can imagine it was like riding a stagecoach, to quote one of the funny lines that my mom has said, that like we're bouncing along. And I thought, okay, I get it. We're not going to race to get into the memorial service. Never is a good look. But what I also thought is you don't necessarily have to slow down every 7 feet. And by the way, that's going to be the overall gist of where we're going today is pace. Not your volume, but your pace. How important it is to get the message across and get it across in a way that people not only understand, not only engage with, but want to understand and engage with. So that's really where we're headed today. By the way, birthday shout out to Allie Connor. Was literally singing 22 from one of my all-time favorites, Taylor Swift, on her Facebook wall today. If you know Allie Connor, make certain you're wishing her a happy birthday. I feel grateful that I get to be Allie's friend. So you make me feel young. Your energy is off the charts. Great. And I salute you and I love you. Happy birthday, Allie. So right away, what's your first tip of the day? Boom. Here's we're going to go back to that slide and show you, right, that all about today is your natural pace. And you're going to be leveraging the speed and excitement appropriately. Think about like driving. If any of you drive a manual stick shift, right? You're leveraging the speed, you're leveraging the pace. This is what you get to do. So what's your first tip? Here's the tip, right? Number 1, watch your opens and closes, right? Any kind of a conversation that matters, anytime you're trying to build excitement, you want to move a little bit faster, right? I get, and we'll get to the slow pace in a moment. I get that, where you want to draw people in, but we'll come back to slow pace in a second. You want people to feel a natural, organic sense of excitement. So if it's your next phone call, if it's your next presentation, if you're speaking to one or more clients or a group of clients, you can open up with a little bit of speed. But I want you to be careful. Tell me if anybody that's listening. And by the way, if you are here live, I love it. And if you are, drop a note in the comments and I'll be glad to respond to you. Comments, questions, clarifications, we're all about that. So this watching your speed, okay, without all of those unnecessary speed bumps. Here's the analogy, right? So you get in and you're so excited about the matter at hand, and you're so excited and you want to make sure that everybody feels what you're feeling and you are ready to go. So we're going to get going and it's really going to be great. And show of hands or a note in the comments. How naturally exciting is that for you? Right. Well, as a listener, as a viewer, if somebody is speaking to me in a way, it better be damn good news. It better be my birthday. It better be I hit the lottery. It better be something great. If you're just all speeding the pace because I want you to get going, it's got to be natural. So a little bit of excitement is great, but you want to temper it, okay? Because they have to get there with you. If you are building unnecessary or unnatural excitement with the speed, you're going to let people down. That's the first tip. So you better have a good reason. How do you do it? Make certain that you're tempering to the audience. Okay. So if you're with a large group of people, if say for instance, you're presenting in a boardroom which sounds a little stiff, but if you're presenting, say, to a group of clients and you're keyed up, I'm telling you, they'll probably be more inclined to forgive the weird speed. But if you're speaking to a small group of people and you're sounding all excited about it sounds frenetic. Again, my word of the day, which people have used about me when I'm drinking too much coffee or not feeling right. You don't want to sound that way because, again, people are thinking something amazing is coming. Well, what's the old line? 100 points, by the way. 100 points and a bonus prize if somebody comes up with the line. When I say it only matters. All right. Coffee does rule. Chad Naxon, I love you, brother. One of my number one in regards to clients. Number one, who we helped find his middle voice, and he helped me find my footing in regards to coaching. So I will never forget how cool Chad Naxon is. But here's the deal, right? In terms of that overall sense. So I'm going to ask the question again. It only matters if it matters to them. It matters to them. So your speed should have some indication in your mind of, I've got something that matters to them, and you better know you're right. That's where I'm going. You better know you're right. You better not be, I just thought you'd love this, right? Because when you're wrong, or you haven't done your homework, or you haven't triple checked, you just sound as if you're manufacturing an emotion. So with pacing, you got to be a little bit careful. All right. So natural builds are awesome. In the open and close, you want a little bit of natural momentum. You don't want to drag the pace. And I promise you, we'll get to that in a second. But you want to build some natural momentum, but understand something good better be coming. And the judge and jury of that is who you're speaking to, not you. I'm so excited to do this presentation today. And you might be thinking like, okay, well, whatever. I have a 12:30 meeting and you better get to it. All right. Hey, speaking of get to it, we're going to get to that next part very soon, right? Too slow doesn't help. Now, there are opportunities to use a slow pace and a slow level of words, right? I've seen people and I've heard people. This is not typically me. I'm more the opposite. But if I hear someone speaking in a way, especially beginning or ending a presentation, or beginning or ending a sales call, or something that should have value to me, how excited are you if somebody does that to you? Drop it in the comments. Right, exactly. No, it's ridiculous. Sorry, no offense to anyone that does that. I'm saying it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because, again, the fact of the matter is the judge and jury are your client, the audience, whoever you're speaking to, right? Not very is right. And the fact is, so what I'm saying is your open and close should have some speed. Now, I want to get to, because again, if you are placing unnecessary emphasis on drawing people in, people might be just tuning you out. They just might be checking out, and that you can't afford. However, I'm going to give you an example of how I have seen this work. how I've seen. By the way, what I was going to do for my visual for this, I didn't choose to do. I put up a turtle in regards to too slow. I could have put up a photo of any time I'm running a race where people are literally patting me on the head because I'm typically the slowest runner that's out there. But slow really works when used correctly. So let me give you an example of what I watched and witnessed. So there is a narration person in voiceover who taught me this. And once I got the visual, I never could let it go. And it really helped me. When you're explaining something, especially if it's technical, numbers, details, research, anything that is supporting the excitement of what you've got going on, the unnatural way to do that is to speed or plow through it, right? Well, if somebody isn't aware of what you're presenting and you're now going to lay out some technical data, often just think this way. It's supporting what you're trying to do. Here's the visual that I was taught. Picture you buy something from IKEA. Anybody ever bought IKEA furniture? I haven't, by the way. And I'll tell you why. No, nothing against IKEA. I haven't bought the furniture because I don't like building things. I have this phobia of when anyone says the following to me. Oh, it's easy. All you have to do is, I literally freak out when somebody says that because I just assume I'm not going to be able to do it. So you go to YouTube. How do I build the sofa? Stefan, if you're watching today, if you're watching today, I am thinking of you and building the sofa. But the fact is, often it's you watch the video. You go to YouTube, you watch the video. Imagine if the person explaining the sofa building is like, okay, you got the 4 legs. Now move the 4 legs over to here. Oh, and then what you're going to do is move this over to there. Grab the cushions, move them. And you're like, okay, I don't get this. The best sort of explanations are slower, especially if the people don't know. They can't care if they don't know. However, you have to earn the right to explain something, which is where that natural excitement and a little bit of maybe accelerated pace, that speed in the beginning to get you there. Once you draw people in, now it's a good idea to slow down. I want to talk about, like for instance, my buddy Chad Naxon is big in finance. He's your money guy. Interest rates, mortgages, second mortgages. Here's your money guy, right? So you read, for instance, today, oh, interest rates are dropping a little bit. Let me give you an example of the last current trend. So over the last 30 years, we had rates of 6.75, and then we moved to 6. That literally is a critical mistake. This is where you need to slow down. I love Chad Naxon because he's really good with making explanations and making things sound easy. Hard things. So think of it this way. If you are speaking to a client or you're presenting or you are trying to convey information, this is where you slow down. Now, the objection there could be, but I have so much data I want to share. I've got so much, and I don't want the client to get bored. You want a solution? Less is more. Do not come in with reams of data thinking you have the right to go through a 30-year historical of anything. Trends, tendencies. I worked for over 25 years. One of the things that I worked with broadcast communications companies, sold, managed, led, taught, you name it, did it. And so we had research. You want some research? We got some research. You want to hear some more stats? We got some more stats. That was often the foundation as to why you would buy advertising from me, our research. So sometimes what you would do is you would just inundate people with data, right? So 900 pages of research. When somebody comes in and you see page upon page upon page upon page of data, does that make you happy? Not me, not as a listener. God, no. Here's the deal. So The less is more technique. You're going to slow down to explain the details. You're just not, here's one of two choices when you are speaking or presenting. Either, number one, really top line it. Everything else is an addendum. Hey, you want to know more? I've got more, but I'm not going to read 900 pages of interest rates or qualitative data on advertising out loud to you. I'm just not going to do it. But number one, less data and guide them to more. Number two, you top line it. I just watched this last week. If Keith Norman is watching live or on replay, shout out to you. Keith Norman happens to work with LG Ads, where it is an advertising platform. Think of it that way, where they are going direct to glass, meaning you buy from LG, your advertising is on LG, you own the medium, the set, for instance, it goes right to you. Brilliant, right? So I remember he's explaining to a bunch of new clients and leads and opportunities and what have you, a lot of data on a slide. Here's what he says, and I remember this and I love it. Oh, folks, here's the money slide. And I quote, that's exactly what he says. Folks, here's the money slide. This is when I saw this is when I realized why this is going to benefit you. What does that do? I lean in. Oh, tell me more. If he had just started reading the data out loud, I think people would have imploded. It was in this beautiful place where it was in Washington, D.C., at a gorgeous facility, and the food was wonderful, and the people were pretty. Oh, and they let me in, too. But events like that, people are not looking for a slow pace, of which I now want to tell you, or gunning through reams and reams of data. So, number one, explaining, you slow down. Number two, do not overwhelm people with the data. Number three, give them a top line. Here's my summary of what you're looking at. If you were showing something, a PowerPoint slide, forgive me, a PowerPoint slide, some data, whatever you're referencing. Spreadsheets, for the love of God, if you're putting up a spreadsheet, slow down and top line it. I'll ask anyone that's here live, if you hear somebody racing through details, what do you think? Does it instill confidence? Does it instill the fact that, oh, this person really gets it? No, to me, it's the opposite. I know point blank, personal example, with all that data that we used to present at one of my former broadcast television digital homes, I would gun through the research because I didn't understand all of it. So again, you're not helping yourself at racing the speed along at the wrong time. So often I've watched, I've done, you change. Beginning of faster, naturally faster. I've got a great opportunity, but you can go a little bit, but the tip, do not manufacture your enthusiasm. Don't come in so jacked up that people think they're going to be on The Price is Right. And they're not, right? Stack the deck. Know the fact that, oh, I believe, because you've double checked, you've done your homework, you're verifying the fact that I am presenting or I'm speaking to you about this and I'm excited because we're going to solve a problem here, right? There you can be. Number two, make certain that you are using the pace correctly. Think of the speed. Think of the manual shift. Slow down when you're explaining, which obviously then gets you to number three. You vary the pace and you win the race. Remember, I didn't win very many actual races. But when you are knowledgeable about what you are speaking about, when you know the story, we harp on this all the time. And again, going back to one of my fun signature lines, or at least I think so, it only matters if it matters to them. This is how you are able to naturally navigate the speed of the way that you speak. And folks, if you are thinking, well, I don't have time to be able to do all that, I've got so much on my mind, here's your solution. Know the freaking story. Know it. Because if you have to worry about trying to get your story straight, think of somebody on trial. Sounds a little heavy, doesn't it? Think of somebody on trial and they're trying to and they don't know their story and they're shifting their story and they're a little bit right. Not a good look, not a good vibe, not a good feel. Now I say, oh, okay. Now while you're at it, I want you to worry about slowing up and shifting. It's a lot. It's a lot. Overwhelming is right. The fact of the matter is, here's what I'm saying. When you know the story, your ability to vary the pace is easy. Because in your mind, you're able to control the speed because you know the story. You don't have to know every factoid. You don't have to have everything memorized. You just have to have the story down cold. All the shifts and turns. Again, I'm crediting voice narration expert Tom Pinto. And that's the thing. It's like you're shifting and turning and pivoting, and the speed should vary in kind, right? Now, at the end, you want to build up. We've talked about it in a prior training session, the sense of, we were calling it anthemic. A natural build up to a conclusion. Now, whether it's a phone call, whether it is a presentation, whether it is a client meeting, if you are doing your homework and you get this right, then you get the right to build to a faster, more excitable conclusion because you've generated the agreement. You, the client, the group of clients, the board, the audience, you're getting there collectively. And when you get to there, the finish line, you do speed up. You have the right to earn the excitement that you are bringing to the table, right? So to me, that's one of the things, like I said, so when I say vary the pace and win the race, it's not quite as linear as fast, slow, fast. But if you remember nothing else today, take that with you, right? Take the following. The speed is controlled by you, but it's only controlled by you when you've done your homework. Speed can feel manipulative. So how do you avoid that? Know your homework, know where you're going, know the story, so that this way you don't sound as if you are, okay, I'm going to talk slow now. Okay, I'm going to talk fast now. Nobody wants or needs that. For the third time is the charm. It only matters if it matters to them. So this sense of, it's not a sense of entitlement. You earn the right to control the speed, right? Because, again, a big beginning, not too much, but big, a little bit faster, right? Slow down when it comes down to the details. I'd like you to learn more about it, or think of it this way in your mind. I'd like to show you how. Now let me demonstrate. I'd love to share with you how you build a sofa. So you're going to grab those legs over there. You see them? Great. Okay. Grab one of them, the one that says A. Awesome. Billy. Great to see you, man. Fact of the matter is, when you are speaking, again, I'm explaining. Okay, grab the leg. Cool. You got it? Great. Unwrap it. Terrific. Now, I want you to take that and go to here. This is the way when you're explaining details. Then you build up to a natural crescendo. I'm sorry. I always hate when I mispronounce words. You build to a natural crescendo, right? And natural crescendos have more speed. So at this point, we've all come to this agreement, and I'm really excited because this is where I want you to go. This is where I believe we should go together. And as a result, when we go there together, we're going to do this. So, and when I say, so who has a question? And did you notice what I did in regards to the speed? Very intentional. Any thoughts or any comments? Again, allow the speed to work with you. You've ended what you feel that you've built to. Slow it down. Now, as I said, okay, we got there. We feel good about getting there. And so To me, that is the opportunity to speak to win, to optimize your communications by leveraging your voice, use speed and pacing appropriately. Too many speed bumps, too many deviations, people get thrown. It feels manipulative. But as I said, if you remember nothing else today, faster, slower, faster, you'd be in a better place. Okay? Now, speaking of a better place, I want to leave something behind. Here is what I've done is I've created some takeaways. What I've been able to do is this. Sometimes I get this opportunity to create takeaways to help you do your job a little bit better. I'm putting up right now in the comments, if you see it, an opportunity to grab, like for instance, for me, a takeaway. Highlights of what I've done to make your job easier, whether it is the way that you speak, the equipment you use, these pieces of these tearaways, these takeaways, I use to help others to be able to do so. Grab one. They cost you nothing, okay? Use the link that I put in the comments. Grab one, feel good about it, and as I said, share it with your friends. Secondly, number 2 today, right? For your friends and colleagues, share this video for the replay. My job really is this. I think about it, which is to help you optimize your communications, you to be able to keep your seat at the table. And if you lead a team, manage a team, are part of a team, thinking of joining a team, share this with the team. My thought is we all win when we win together. Share the video because this replay will be up for a little while, okay? So that's what we've got going on. And then lastly, when you need me for specifics, if you want to talk further in regards to your specific needs, of course I coach. I'm grateful to say I'm grateful to say that I do it fairly well. And if we want to talk specifics with you, the email that I just put up, jd@duffinmedia.com, get to me. I offer a free 30-minute discovery call. What does that entail? It's me speaking with you in regards to how my system will work for you. The steps that I use when I'm coaching, the steps that I use specifically in regards to getting you to the finish line. I coach individuals and I coach groups and teams. So reach out to me. The discovery call, I'll show you exactly how it would work, right? The specifics, the details, and we make it work for you. So there are your 3 tips for the day. I am thrilled that you showed up for me. I'm very, very grateful. We tend to keep these brief because we want you to go back and use them today and then go back and rock the rest of your day. So with that being said, think of the pace, think of the speed bumps, remember the control, and remember it's always optimizing your story. John Duffin with Duffin Media here. Hope you have a fantastic day. Be well, and we will definitely catch up soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.